Good morning from Bozeman, Montana. At
Good
the
morning.
Kipton.
We're at the Kipton.
Is this
our
one of your
favorite
favorite?
place?
Yeah, it definitely is, right?
This trip has been a little interesting, but I still love this place.
Yes, we will talk about some of those items today and more. So today will be pre-recorded, but we're actually live this morning. So we're recording it maybe an hour beforehand.
We're an hour behind, so we have some early morning appointments today.
Yes. So we're just recording this a touch early. So this is actually going out at 6:48 local time in Bozeman on Thursday. So we'll be doing that.
Yep.
And we have 3 different topics for us today. Topic number 1 is going to be some musings from Montana. So we have some random different stories that I think could help you. So we have some travel tips and some items that are going on here. So we'll discuss those. Then topic number 2 is going to be going to new heights for your clients. So we'll discuss that one and see how that works out. And then on X maps will be topic number 3. So those will be the 3 topics we go over. And then we're going to define a word that I don't know if we're making up ourselves, but maybe traveling real estate broker. That's her. So we'll define that word here in just a little bit. You have a lot of different titles here, sweetheart.
I know. Yes, I do.
Okay. So we forgot our bell. So what are you going to do? Are you going to whistle?
Yeah.
All right. Musings from Montana. Hello there. That is luxury real estate broker and co-owner of Acquisto Real Estate, Shana Acquisto. And we're joining you guys here live from Bozeman, Montana at the Kipton. And we have some different items to kind of discuss with you. Right. So we're going to go over some travel tips and that might help you out for this summer. We're going to go over vacation rental cars. So we'll go over that. We'll go over how to get a better room if you don't have the room you want. How to get out of an elevator if you happen to be stuck in one. We'll go over that. And then get up early, kind of see everything, and meet some locals. Yes. So we'll kind of review each of those different items and more. So here we are in Bozeman, Montana, and it's gorgeous here, right? There's a lot of amazing things. Local update would be that local real estate is up 30%.
From 6 months ago.
30.
6 months. That is not that long ago.
No, it is not. So within that time frame, that's a really healthy appreciation rate, maybe unsustainable going forward, but there's a lot of anticipation. So Southwest Airlines has announced that they're going to be coming here with super low rates from a lot of different cities. So you might have an opportunity to come here quite a bit cheaper than you were thinking in the past.
And I would recommend it. We would love to bring all of you here at some point in time. A couple of you have been here and traveled with us, but I would love that.
All right. So Southwest Airlines, check that out. They will be coming here soon. It starts, I don't know, like
it's
really
started.
Soon. Oh, okay.
I believe.
Very good. And then we're going to go over some rental car tips.
Okay.
So rental cars are in short supply in general across the country. So when COVID hit, a lot of the different car rental companies actually went ahead and sold off a lot of their fleet. Then they're having chip shortages and component shortages to make new vehicles. So they're unable to buy new vehicles at the proper rate as we're ramping back up. So there's not enough rental cars across the country. So if you're trying to rent a vehicle, right, from any one of these destinations, one tip that you can do, and this would be a pretty good one. I learned this from a rental car employee, from an enterprise rental car employee that I kind of ran into.
This is good info.
It is. So he said, rent it for a shorter time frame and then just don't return it. And
now, hold on, you can call them. So do it for 2 days or whatever, a day, and then call them and say you need to extend your time.
Yes.
That's what you need to do. Don't just take the car and
just
never
take it.
return it.
No, just take it. So because when you put like a 5-day time frame, right, or a week that you're going to be out, you need to reserve it the same day that you arrive. But if you book it for 5 days out, they're going to be like, whoa, other people already have that car booked and taken out. So what you have to do is back up and say, I only need it for 4 days and see if that comes in. Then 3 days and 2 days and 1 day and be like, I only need it for an hour. That's all I need it for, 1 hour. can I rent the car for 1 hour?
Yeah.
So once you get the car, then it's in your possession.
Yes. Something else to think about is if you have, during the summer, you have, clients flying in to see homes, they may not be able to rent a car. So it may be that you should prepare for having people in your car again. We've gone a long time without actually driving people around. We've been meeting people at properties. So I would think about that and ask them, do you have car arrangements? If not, be prepared to pick them up and be the chauffeur.
All right. And if you run into a jam, please contact me. I have an extra vehicle. Her name is Pearl. That's
Pearl.
nice that you're going to give Pearl away. Anybody can borrow Pearl. It's not a problem.
And you can
She's reliable.
take Pearl and
never return her. It's totally fine.
No, we love Pearl.
Very good.
She's been through a lot with us.
All right. So that's a good rental car tip for you.
Yes.
And then get a good room. So that's going to be the second item here. So when you travel, sometimes the same class of room or same expense is there's multiple different sizes. So the other day we checked in and we were in the room and we're like, this doesn't really meet our standards. We need a larger room.
Keyword is we.
We
said that.
We said it, but I said Shana said it. So anyways, I called onto the front desk and I'm like, hey people, I need a bigger room.
Like,
my wife needs this. We've been here before and
we stay here a lot and we feel our room is just a little small.
Just a little too small. And the wife needs a larger king size room. So chat in now if you've ever felt that you needed just a little bit better room. So you call down to the front desk and they're like, oh yeah, we're looking at the floor plan. That room is a little bit small. We'll get you into a larger king size room. Same expense, right? And we'll have you move to that room right away. So we go ahead and do that. And the girl is very, very nice and was able to accomplish that with no problem at all for us. Then along the way, we'll skip right to the end of the story where Shauna decides that the next thing that she needs to do is to go get some ice.
It was late. I had my makeup off, ready for bed, and I like to have ice water. So went to get some ice and did not have an ice machine. I walked all around our floor, did not have an ice machine, but I remember the floor we had, 10 minutes ago that we moved from had ice on the floor. So I got in the elevator.
Just all over the floor there was ice?
Yeah. So I got in the elevator to go down and get some ice, and it stopped. The elevator would go nowhere. So fortunately, there were some really nice people in there, 3 people, 2 nurses and a doctor. And we became really close and good friends over the 45 minutes that we were stuck in the elevator. So it was quite interesting. And what we learned is, maybe you guys aren't aware of this, but the Otis man, the elevator repair man, is in high demand. So when we called Otis, which was the brand of the elevator, to, hey, can you guys come help us out? Sure, it'll be about 4 hours. We're 4 hours away. Okay. At this time, the a maintenance man from the Kipton, was trying to pry the door open at the top, everywhere, and he had been trying for about 15 minutes and no success. So we then heard the Otis guy said, hey, you should probably call 911. Call the fire department. They have the ability to open these doors. So we called the fire department, and the fire department immediately said, whatever you do, don't try to pry the doors open, because that may not work. We will not be able to get them open if someone is prying, has jammed it and tried to pry them open. About that time, the maintenance fan was like, oh. So fire department showed up in like 5 minutes, and there were, I think, 10 of them, and they opened the doors, and it was all good. But I made some good friends along the way, so it was quite interesting. So I don't know where we were going with this story, but
just that you got stuck in an elevator for 45 minutes, and the lady at the front desk called me, and she's like, hey, your wife wanted me to call you and tell you that she's stuck in an elevator, and she's totally fine, but we'll get her back to you relatively shortly.
Mike thought it was a joke, so he was like, don't be pranking me.
Yeah, I totally thought it was a prank, because I called down and we were such divas needing a bigger room. And then I had another additional challenge. And anyways, we're going to cut right to it. Apparently, we're travel divas.
I'll tell you more
I'm
about
not
it later,
sure.
but it was really fun.
There you go.
But we're up early today, and it's a good thing to get up early when you're on vacation and explore. When you're in a different city, it's amazing how many people you can meet and how many sights you can see, right?
Yep. So the other day I was able to meet is it Schnee's?
Yeah. There's a local sporting goods store, kind of like Dick's Sporting Goods, but on a smaller scale, local.
And so he has their own shoe brand that they've been
Mhm.
making for hiking and hunting and packing shoes for a long time. And he just returned back from Italy. And they have, I think, a dozen people full time making shoes for them in Italy that they sell all over the world. And he's an importer of the shoes. And it was a really good conversation. I was able to learn a lot of different things. And I don't know, maybe we find out if Omkar's father can make shoes, Italian leather shoes. So
That would be
find out
great.
about that. Yeah,
That would be
import
great.
those bad boys.
So get up and meet the locals. You know, meet from anywhere from the maintenance man at the hotel to someone you meet in an elevator, someone just standing in line somewhere at a restaurant, your waitress. You have to think about when you go out to dinner or out to eat, when you're on vacation, you're probably not cooking. You're going to encounter someone who sees many, many people, right? They are there and they hear about all the people traveling to and from, and they're a really good person to get to know.
So when we talked to our waitress, she was able to say that her family members were looking for some large ranches, like super noteworthy ones. And we were able to say some things. And she's like, I need to get your number because they're, the in-laws are looking to buy a really huge ranch. Yeah. And Shauna's like, all right, we'll take care of that. Here you go. Here's the contact information. So that worked out. And then the people in the elevator, they
actually invited us to dinner.
Oh,
so
really good.
Yeah.
And they're doctors, right? Wanting to buy something?
One's a doctor, a pediatric doctor, and then her husband's a nurse and her best friend's a nurse.
Good. So if you want those as your clients, then go ahead and give Shauna a call and chat in right now if you'd like to see if you could work those deals. Maybe you can come out here yourself.
Let's go, guys.
All righty. Very good.
All right.
That's
I'm not
good.
gonna whistle again
No more whistling.
It's early here.
Can you clap?
Yeah.
Hey there, Mike and Shana Acquisto here, traveling real estate brokers live from our hotel room in the Kipton in Bozeman, Montana. Why are we talking quiet? Because it's a little bit early here and we don't want to wake everybody up. Shana was just whistling a moment ago and we're like, uh-oh.
It's 7 here now, but the sun comes up at 5:30. It starts to get daylight, and then it's about 9:15 when the sun sets. So there's, we have long days and a lot of daylight here to do things. It's great.
Yes. So we're here and we're going to go over going to new heights for your clients and some different things that you could do. Yeah. And
yesterday was pouring down rain.
So we just want to think ahead, right? And realize what the client really wants. And sometimes they want something that's super noteworthy. So while we were here, there's a rather,
so much taller than
yeah, well, there's kind of a monument and it's the M Mountain. So if anyone's been here, there's a kind of a standard place that people go take a quick day hike. And there's just a big M on the mountain. And it gives you the ability to just go up to the top of it and back down. And people kind of like it. There's an amazing view from up at the top, right? It's one of the best views of the area. So that's why people go hike that area. Okay. So right next to it, I happened to find a piece of property that's for sale as well.
Acreage?
And a lot of acreage. So it's 118 acres. But this is in a really pretty darn good location. But it enters from a unique spot to be able to get to it.
And it's very steep.
Yeah, no, it's very steep because it's like that's where people go ahead and hike up to the top of. So basically right next to it, I found a piece of property that's available for sale. So I went and got all the information, was able to get in touch with the listing agent and got approval to go hike there. And she says, hey, so make sure you bring bear spray with you. And I'm like, oh, snap, that's a real thing here?
Yep.
So now we have bear spray.
Yeah, if y'all need to borrow any bear spray.
Yep. Make sure that you're fully protected if you're going out.
Yes.
And maybe bring a gun. So we arranged for that. So here is the view of what I could see as I was, just basically leaving the car, is I could see Shauna back in the car.
So guys,
Why were you in the car?
It was pouring down rain. I didn't bring like hiking attire to go up in the wilderness in the rain. Okay, so Mike really wanted to go up and see this property and get an understanding of the boundaries and where you could build and all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So that little red car, which was, note, the last rental car was a convertible Mustang. What?
Yeah.
So we have that convertible Mustang. So anyway, we had to meet our client afterwards, but Mike went up. He goes, I'm just going to go up here and see a couple of these home sites and see what it's all about. So I waited in the car, and he was gone for an hour. And I was so nervous that he had encountered a bear, and I really am not comfortable that this bear spray is going to work.
Chad didn't know if bear spray's ever saved your life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kind of thinking that's not legit.
You're thinking it's not legit?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll ask Homecar. He just returned from Russia. I'd say there's a lot of grizzly bears there.
But anyway, we've been looking at a lot of land here, and this is 100+ acres. And it was really interesting because there's a family that owns the majority of this mountain pretty much, and they're selling off a portion of it. So,
and this is that M Mountain that
Mhm.
hikes right next to it
Mhm.
on this trail, and I'm showing you some stuff from Onyx,
Yeah.
and this happens to be the exact parcel that's available, and
Mhm.
it borders all of this national forest land, and there's a huge trail system that goes all behind it, so that's all public land, and I had to stop the picture because it only went so far.
Yeah.
But there's a ton of land next to it. So anyways, I thought this was a unique property and something that the individual might like.
Mhm.
So I was like, hey, let's go take a look at this. And we did. And we just wanted to be prepared and ready.
Mhm.
So when we're sitting there and you're in the, later on that evening, how does it come up, Shauna?
So we had sent this to Carl, our client, previously, and where this is located, he's like, I think I've just decided I don't want to be in this area. The sun doesn't shine in there. It's in the canyon, and it's steep, and I drove it. No. Okay. So when we were at dinner last night, we brought it up again. I said, yeah, Mike, well, we were talking about...
No, he didn't even say that.
Actually, we were talking about the M. He's like, you guys have to go. Let's, do the M tomorrow morning, whatever.
And then he looks out the window and he says, actually, right there it is.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's not all that far away from here.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
perfect.
Mike's like, well, next to the M, I went and, we were talking about this property. And he was like, oh, well, maybe I should go look at it.
And from there, thanks, Homecar, for doing that. You
Uh-huh.
can actually see this property right from there. I was able to talk to the property owner. We drove by him, super nice guy. And there's 3 awesome distinct views off the top. It was a little rainy and it was kind of a little overcast, but you're able to see the valley in 3 different places
It's
from
beautiful.
from where it happens to be. I would say it has about 700 feet of elevation on the property.
Mhm.
And 3 different unique home sites within this 118 acres.
Mhm.
And it was really cool. So he's like, that's the best view in town. And I'm like, well, how would you like to own the property right next to it?
He was like,
he's like, wait,
what?
where?
And I said, I thought you drove by it. And he's like, yeah, I did. But then you got to go back up the road. So we just decided that's not where we want to be because it's narrow in there. I don't know, just wasn't a fan. But now, so do research for your clients, right? And send them things and talk to them about it. Show them, because initially people might have a perception and, instantly say no, and you never know.
So
Could work out.
we said that, and maybe we'll hike that together here
Yeah.
today or the next day and have a look at that. And maybe this ends up being the property that's the right one for them.
You never know. It's at a really good price, and you could build 3 home sites on it.
Yep.
The bordering, land will not be built on because it's federal land. It's, I think, the state wildlife and fish hatchery as well. So yeah, it's really cool. And you can hike to a ski mountain where you can ski. You can take all those trails throughout, right?
Mhm.
You can fish, you can hunt. It's pretty impressive.
Very good. So those were only 2 topics that we covered.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go ahead and clap it out and end this and go to that's a wrap. Or definition, real estate. Today's real estate word of the day is traveling real estate broker. So we're going to define it, then we're going to use it in a sentence, and then we'll speak about it for just a moment.
This is in the dictionary.
Go ahead, Shana.
Traveling real estate broker. A real estate broker whom is licensed in multiple states and travels to with their high-end clients to other locations to transact real estate. They must be competent in the diverse components of multiple markets to accomplish this with the trust of their clients.
Very good. Thank you for the definition, Shana.
Mhm.
And then we're going to go ahead and use that word in a sentence. Shana Acquisto is a high-end traveling real estate broker with her premium clients. And then to go ahead and discuss that, Shana, it has been a great experience for you.
Oh my goodness. Yes, it's been very eye-opening. I've met a lot of different agents, understanding a lot of different personalities, how the market is completely different. But, you know, our client lives here now, and he meets a lot of different people that are from developers to real estate brokers, lots of people, right? It's a small town. And he still is loyal to us and wants us here all the time. So, you know, these relationships matter. And when you develop a trust with someone, I think the sky's the limit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if someone trusts you, then, you know, that doesn't go away. So.
Very good. Yeah. Clap it out.
Okay.
Well, that's a wrap for us today. We only covered 2 topics. I will let you know that I was able to do double duty. So that was really cool. On that hike up the mountain, I was actually looking at the property with our Montana client in mind. But I happen to have another gentleman that had reached out to us and wanted to find $6 million worth of hunting property that he could have for that his father wanted to buy for him and his son, and they wanted to go spend some time together, and they wanted it to be able to meet the requirement of being able to hunt on it, to be able to fish on it, and be able to have it appreciate in value and kind of put something there. So what I kind of did is I was like, this is going to be double duty. So I was able to text out that information and say, hey, right? So I already discussed this property with this gentleman, and I was like, I think this is going to really work for you, and I think you'll like it. So I have that same property that will potentially show off to 2 different people. It does have great long-term potential with it, and you never know when any client would want anything. But having more information and inside info is often super helpful. You find that your clients are like, wait a minute, you did what? And like you did that? All right, that's kind of good. So maybe don't say every single thing you're doing and let it just organically come up. And then you have the best kind of experience with stuff like that. So there we go. So we covered our travel musings and went to new heights for the client. Shana now has her own bear spray, so that is good. And we're done for the day. We will see you mañana.
Bye, guys.
See ya. All right, so we got to take a couple of pictures here, Shana.
All right.
Let's see, where's my phone?
I'm scared.
There it is. I'll put this over here.
The bear spray story is really amazing.
You like bear spray?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
But yeah, the story is amazing.
All right. Ready, Shana? I think we have to get closer. Maybe I have to close this window.
Oh, now you do it. We're done.
We're done now. We're done.
Okay.
Maybe it's the other one that we have to really close. Okay, nice.
So first topic that we have is musings from Montana.
Musings from Montana. You know, I wish I had that hat that I just bought. That's good. Hold up the T. It's good. In this shot. Okay, thanks for that. So we got a pour over coffee.
Would you like-
Topic is going to new heights for your client.
Going to new heights for your client. That's where the bear spray comes in, Shauna. And where's my hiking shoes are somewhere. But we don't need them. All right. The Nalgene will be fine. Do you have a Nalgene home car?
Nail gene? What's that?
This thing?
What's that? I never heard of it. Alright, so it's coming up. Now,
Okay. It's this. It's a 1 liter. You put water in it. It's hardy. Doesn't spill.
okay, so it's kind of a water bottle.
Yeah, it's a name brand of a water bottle.
Should we do this up close instead?
Yeah, go ahead. Hold it up close. Okay, good enough. And then traveling real estate broker. Let's get your word in. Do you have anything? Oh, your purse. That's good. You'll have to hold it up higher.
Now,
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, home car.
Thank you, Omkar.
Hey, we have to get off and you have to.